are talking to some people that are definitely getting a little tired of the whole work from home thing, and they're thinking about, doing something different.
Well, I think that, or there's people who might have had a career before the pandemic. A lot of people lost their jobs, starting off the pandemic. Mm-hmm. Maybe they've been doing something else to kind of get by right now, just to pay the bills, but they've got their eye on, on starting a real career again, on getting things going. For somebody in either of those situations, talk to us a little bit about the kind of investment that's needed for that.
Sure. Well, one thing for real estate, and this is kind of the step one, if you will, you do have to have a license to sell real estate for others in the state of North Carolina. If you're going to sell your own product, whether you build it or you buy a home and you flip it, as they say, you don't have to have a real estate license to do that. But if I'm going to sell, if you're going to sell a home for a citizen of North Carolina, then you do. And so maybe if you're one of these people that may have a little blemish on your record, as they say, you might want to check with the North Carolina Real Estate Commission first to make sure that whatever is in your past doesn't prohibit you from moving forward in real estate. And believe it or not, Keith, they just changed this like in the last 2 years. It was so bad before. They had people, and look, I mean, it was 15 years ago, you did something stupid, right? You go to the class, you pass the class, you go to the state, you take the test, and then they run a criminal background check, and they say, yeah, you can't have your license. And it's like, why can't we do that first?
Yeah, that would seem like a better idea.
This seems like a better idea. I felt bad for those. I was like, we just now thought about this? Like, it seems like that was a no-brainer. But anyway, let's assume you're clear, you're good to go. Well, one thing you're going to have to do is attend a real estate school, and that is going to take somewhere between 5 to 6 weeks of your time, a couple days a week. It's an investment of around $500 to $600. It's not, not huge. And so the first step is you pay the money. The second thing is you have to pass the class. You have to pass the class exam, and if you do that, you're now eligible to take the North Carolina real estate exam or test to get your license. And then they're going to get about $125 to $150 for you to do that, to take that test. And let's just say at the end of the day, all green lights. You passed. It's awesome. Well, you can't just in North Carolina go out there and say, I'm going to throw my shingle up and start my own business, and I'm going to be a real estate company. You actually have to go work underneath a broker for a while until you get some experience, which probably isn't a bad thing. It's probably a good thing. If you're going to sell real estate for other people, they'd probably like to know that you're trained. And so the best way to get trained is, go find a broker that can help you out to do that. Now, if you work with that broker and they belong to this thing called the multiple listing service, well, then you have to join a board in the Triad, and there are 3 of them that you can join. And so now you're going to write some checks. It's somewhere around $1,500, I guess, to get all that, set up. And it's not like it's $200,000. I mean, it's still, it's probably anywhere between $2,000 and $2,200 to get you started in real estate. Just give or take.
That's cheaper than going back and changing my major and going to college. I dropped another, 20, 30, 40,000.
Absolutely.
So let's say
question.
I've done all of that. I've got my license. I'm good to go. When do I start cashing the checks?
Absolutely. Immediately, right? Right out
Next
the gate. Next day, people just start calling you. They're like, I heard you pass, man. I'm ready to sell. Well, not so much. So one of the things with real estate is, there's two ways you got to look at business. You either have to know a lot of people or have money to invest. One of the two. So you have the time that you put into building those relationships, or you're going to invest money, and it can be both, and it usually is both over the long haul. So one of the things that most people have when they start a new business is they don't maybe have a lot of money to put into it, and so what they have is time. And so they have to start working, maybe some of their friends and sphere of influence and people that they know, but sometimes you run out of those people. And so that's where, getting in touch with a company like us that has connections and a big database can help you launch your career faster. So you can go to jbreteam.com, get some more information. We'll be happy to share pretty much everything that we know about real estate with you. But it would be a good launch to your 2023.